somebody who cares. When I found you, found my most intimate prayer. When I found you, I found what every heart dreams of. When I found you, I found love.
When a man and a woman unite in holy matrimony, there exists the greatest opportunity to create heaven on earth in a marriage. And so this is where we begin the phenomenal love story and union of Betty and Carl Hunter. They grew up along the outskirts of a small town, Woodville, Mississippi, less than 2 miles from each other. And what they didn't know even as children was that one day they'd create an everlasting bond that would create years and years of marriage.
I prayed for a good wife, and I prayed for her to be my wife. So God answered my prayer, I guess.
It was my time coming up to getting older, so I asked God to give me a husband that was take care of me, take care of our family like my dad took care of us.
Carl was born June 5th and is the 7th son of 9 siblings to Billy and Dallas Hunter. Betty was born June 12th to Junius and Mary Arnett, the baby of 7 siblings. And so 2 years after Carl and Betty arrived in New Orleans in 1960, Carl asked Betty for her hand in holy matrimony.
When I graduated high school, he said, well, we're going to get married. I was like 17, hadn't made 18 yet. And he said we were going to get married. And then he sent my mama a letter.
I had gained a good relationship with her by then. I really don't know how I did it, but I had regained a relationship with their mom and the dad. Why I wrote the letter, because I wanted support from my mom, and she gave me support.
So it was in 1959 when Betty and Carl made the decision to relocate to New Orleans, Louisiana. He would become a longshoreman and she would continue her education to build a wealth foundation to begin a family of their own. And to this union, 2 children were born, and each of them uniquely their own. On November 16, 1961, their first and only son, Carl Raphael, was born. A bundle of joy for 2 young parents. He flourished and grew into Yo-Yo, their nickname for him. He's a mama's boy, very helpful to everyone, caring and dependable.
He didn't know, back in those days, you didn't know if you were having a boy or a girl or what. So he was at work, and I think somehow or another he called the hospital to find out what the baby was, and it was a boy. And his name was named after his daddy. But we wound up calling him Yo-Yo because, I don't know, we were just so proud and so happy to have a baby that we just mama's, daddy's little old Yo-Yo, and we started calling him Yo-Yo. And he was a happy baby, a good baby, a baby that we were proud of, our firstborn.
Then on September 10, 1963, their spunky daughter, Dwan Rochelle, better known as Dee Dee, came along, ready to take the world by storm. She's very talkative, trustworthy, a good mother to our own 2 girls, and always uniquely dressed.
And then 22 months later came Dee Dee. Frisky Dee Dee.
That was the fast track.
Yes. She would always gather us in a circle and said, this family will never break up. There'll be no divorce in this family. And we'd have to get in the hug circle, what was called the hug circle, and everybody would hug, and we'd dance around and laugh and have lots of fun.
In the meantime, their 2 children started to mature and grow up, almost ready to strike out on their own. Then the Lord blessed them again with baby Jody, who fell into their laps when she was about 6 months old. She's sensitive, reserved, kind, and ambitious. Another blessing and another reason to work hard to keep the family strong, loving, and together.
This was just a precious gift to my mom to bring in, and I think she wanted just to be here with us because she was with us so much.
We love our children. We're proud of them, proud of their accomplishments. Our main interest was our family and the betterment of the family. Not that whatever we did together as a family, more or less.
They owe it all to a strong family bond, their faith, belief, and trust in God Almighty, for without Him, they cannot do anything.
Looking back, I think I'd like everything to stay the same, the way it happened. It worked out perfectly, and God kept us together for these 50 years, so I wouldn't change a thing.
And so today it is that all of heaven rejoices at the celebration of 50 years of marriage between Betty and Carl Hunter. And what God has put together, let no man tear apart. They've stood in faith and in love, and today we celebrate 50 years.